back to Dr. Harold Crumfield. I'm Joe Viscioni alongside Rick Dorrington as you're set to, as the Concord Carlisle Patriots are set to take off against the Lexington Minutemen in Friday Night Football. Coming into this game, Lexington lost their first game of the season 42-14 in an ugly showdown against Brockton, in which we saw quarterback Anthony Bianchi, switch over to quarterback instead of wide receiver from what he was last year, and really put on a show using his feet. Unfortunately, they fell 42-14. Rick, what did you see from that matchup that hopefully Lexington can use to try to win this game today?
You know, it was a tough loss, Joe, but, you know, I think Brockton was a tougher team than Concord Carlisle. They're bigger, faster. I'm expecting Lexington to probably have learned from some of their mistakes and come out tonight and get the W.
Brockton, a very good team, as you mentioned. Last couple years, they have struggled. Last year, they were 5-6 as they improved and continued to grow throughout. Lexington last year, as we knew, was a very stout team led by quarterback Sal Freelick, who is now a pitcher at Boston College, and his presence will be missed. As the kickoff is set to go, high kick settled down, the number 21 on Lexington. That one's fielded, and he is wrapped up around the 26-yard line.
That was a short kick, yeah. Didn't really take advantage of how short that was, but
senior running back number 21, Matt Pusateri, on the reception as the Lexington Minutemen offense is going to jog onto the field. And Rick, as we talked about it before the game, this Minutemen offense lost so much, especially we talked about Sal Freelick, but also their star wide receivers in Ryan Blanchard and Jimmy Lane. Now here's Bianchi in the shotgun. Takes the snap, hands it up the middle to his running back, and he's going to take it on the quarterback draw, and he's tripped up around the line of scrimmage by number 21 for the Patriots, Eddie Jalen, the sophomore defensive back, making the tackle in the backfield.
Yeah, so I think Bianchi was one of their best wide receivers last year and then took over the quarterback role, which is sort of interesting. Now they have him running the ball sort of like Freelick was.
Concord Carlisle lined up in the nickel formation, and a flag is on the field, going to be a encroachment, I believe, on number 15 of the Lexington Minutemen, Mason Hatfield, the slot receiver. Jumped off sides there, and that's going to bring it up to a 2nd and 16. Not very helpful for this team so far after the 1-yard tackle for loss. Bianchi has Tristan Quander in the backfield along to his left. 3 receivers set. Here's Bianchi, drops back. Faces the pressure, fires over to his left, pass intended for Quander, who drops the ball out of the flat, and that's going to bring up a 3rd and long for the Minutemen.
That was tough there. I'm not really sure what that play was. Looks like 75 ran out to catch a pass, but totally missed that block and left the quarterback wide open to get hit.
And so far, the Patriots are already showing some great pass rush. Here's Bianchi trying to use his legs on the bootleg. He's going to take it himself, lowering the shoulder, and he is short of the first down by about 9 yards, as the punting unit for the Minutemen is going to come onto the field for the first time tonight. Bianchi staying on the field is number 11, Duncan Hewitt, the senior kicker and punter who had college offers and was getting looked into by University of New Hampshire, injured and tore his meniscus in the 3rd day of training camp.
Ah, that's a bummer.
Now here's the punt. It is a low one, and that one is caught at by number 21 across the 35-yard line, as that is a 42-yard punt from the Minutemen. And Rick, we don't know too much about this offense by Concord Carlisle, but hopefully this Minutemen defense can stop them. And one of the biggest parts about containing a really good offense is stopping them on 1st and 2nd down, and then all starts with your defensive tackles and your defensive linemen controlling the line of scrimmage. And it's going to be really important to see how this team steps up with the departure of nose tackle Tenzin Parashur.
That's absolutely right. He's a big boy. He's 6'5", 300. I think they have him listed here. I'm expecting to see a lot out of him.
And look at the tackle there made by Johnny Benchman behind the line of scrimmage. Tackle for loss. And already showing some pounding in the run game as Lexington proves to win behind the line of scrimmage. Coming onto the field is number 6, Declan Smith, the junior quarterback. 3 receiver set, loaded backfield. Two fullbacks in the game. Smith has a man in motion, hands it over to number 22 across the right sideline, and he is going nowhere. Great tackle for loss and second effort by number 12, Gabe Van Emmen, the free safety coming over to make the hit. And that's going to bring up a 3rd and 10 approximately, already less than 3 minutes in to the first quarter.
And that was great. 13's pretty quick. What's his name? Oh, there we go.
Number 13, Ben Berman.
But yeah, it seemed like he was the first guy on the runner there. So.
Yeah, it's very great for your defense when the players in the secondary who are on the outside and across the boundary can really make some plays in the run game. And Lexington's going to need a lot of that tonight. Declan Smith trying to get his offense going. Last year, the Minutemen took on the Patriots and won 31-26. Of course, that was with Sal Freelick. Here's Declan Smith, and a timeout is called, I believe.
And it looks like it was a penalty.
No, timeout was called, I believe, by Lexington, and that's going to bring up, again, going back to this 3rd and 7.
It's a big third down. They want to get the tone set for the night, so each team pretty eager to put the first points on the board, and starts with these third downs.
And the Minutemen not known for the defense, but definitely trying to get going, allowing 27 points per game last year. Here's a snap. Declan Smith on the quarterback draw, and he is leveled at the line of scrimmage by number 28, Luke Butler, the senior linebacker. And we were trying to speak about this earlier. Luke Butler, one of the main linebackers left in this Lexington defense, and he needs to have a big game, and if the rest of the season is anything like that play, his future looks bright.
That was a great read. Yeah, he had that fake handoff, and the quarterback was quick and took it, but he saw that whole play coming. That was really great. Textbook.
Declan Smith back to punt this one, and I wouldn't be surprised when you have your quarterback being the punter if we could see a little bit of a fake later on in the game. High snap, ball over the top of Smith, and he is going to be pounced upon, gets the kickoff behind the line of scrimmage and out of bounds across the 36-yard line. Still a great play by Lexington special teams, and a terrible snap from the Patriots.
That was a pretty good play there, though. I've never seen a kicker have to run and still be able to kick the ball like that. That was pretty good.
Impressive effort from Smith, showing that he's not just a quarterback. He can also run it himself. Maybe they want to give him a couple snaps of wide receiver so that he can move his legs. And coming back onto the offense again is Anthony Bianchi with his running back Tristan Quander. Trips formation over to the right side of the line of scrimmage, has one receiver to his left. Here's Bianchi, takes it up the middle, using those legs, turns along the outside line. Bianchi out of bounds across the 10-yard line. Great carry from him, bringing up a 1st and goal for the Minutemen.
That's really impressive. Have they handed the ball off yet to number 3?
Yes, they did once last
play. Okay,
try.
yeah. Very similar offense to last year where the quarterback does a sort of option.
And never mind. Looks like we have a hold against the Minutemen, 10-yard penalty. And that play is going to be negated. Unfortunate for the Minutemen. And that is going to bring up back again it was a spot foul, excuse me, so it's still going to be a 1st and 8. Man in motion is number 15. Here's Bianchi. He's going to run it himself again. Why not try the same play? Flips it over to Quander, who can't quite make the reception. It's still going to be a 2-yard carry as forward progress, and the pass was behind the line of scrimmage. And that's going to bring up a 2nd and 7, I believe, for the Minutemen. Number 15, Mason Hatfield in the backfield, running over to his right, joined by Jack Marson, the senior slot receiver. Along with Masay Merseth, one of the receivers who was trusted by Freelick last year. As that was a forward pass penalty against Lexington, loss of down apparently, as the referees are going to talk this one over. Trying to get things going here, and if you are the Minutemen, Rick, penalties is definitely not what you want to have going for you this early into the ball game, because it can really eat at your psyche.
Yeah, it seems like the offense is a little excited. I think they just need to calm down, put it in the hand of what's his name, Tristan Quander, and just see what he can do.
Here's Bianchi, finds it over to Marson on the screen, and he is wrapped up right from the beginning of it. Number 22, Cam Ladd, the junior defensive back, making the tackle for loss, bringing up a 3rd and long.
Stuff. I think the Patriots are just a little too quick for the shotgun offense, and Bianchi hasn't really been able to get started. I think they should try with the run game here. And
4 receiver set, no extra blocker. Here's Bianchi, fires, fakes the play action, fires over deep, finds his man long, and he missed him. Number 15, Mason Hatfield, the intended receiver, left wide open in the slot, and Bianchi just overthrows him. And if you are Lexington, you are pretty frustrated with that effort.
That was a beautiful run. He broke out, was wide open, and the ball was just a tad overthrown.
And here's Lexington back onto the field. 4 receiver set, Tristan Quander trying to get the play for his offense as the Minutemen are going to go for it on 4th and 14. Man in motion is Jack Marson. Here's Bianchi on the snap, rolls to his left, fires over to his right on the wide receiver screen, drops a man. Number 5 on the carry, Masay Merzeth, but we have a flag on the field. Let's see who it's against. And it looks like it's going to be against the Minutemen. So the Minutemen unable to get things going so far, and it's very different from what we saw last year, Rick, as the Minutemen were very much a drive down the field, either run it with your quarterback Freelick or take deep shots to Bianchi down the field. And now without any really competent receivers so far, it's a lot more screen passes and short yardage gains.
Yeah, absolutely. And it looks like they're a lot more confident in their defense this year going for it. On 4th and 14 is a pretty gutsy call, but let's see what their defense can do.
And turnover on downs. Here is Eklund Smith. Smith fakes the handoff, gives it straight up the middle to his fullback, and he is stuffed behind the line of scrimmage for the 2nd time tonight. Great tackle made by the Lexington defensive line. That was Tim Hayes on the carry. Bringing up a 2nd and 10 for the Concord Carlisle Patriots. And Concord Carlisle has been lethal over these past seasons. Last year was a down year as they went 5-6. As they're trying to repeat the same effort they had 3 years ago. Now here's the handoff over to number 22, and he's going to be wrapped up yet again. Great tackle made initially by number 12, Gabe Van Eman. As Lexington proving already, if their offense can't get going, they really have the ability to stuff the run.
That was a great tackle. He cut that angle off and came all the way over from the other side. It was beautiful. That's textbook cornerback play.
Cam Ladd on the carry. That is his 3rd carry of the night. So far, he's only picked up 1 net yard. Coming back to the line of scrimmage, same formation. 2 backs in the game, an extra tight end at the line of scrimmage. Lexington showing a left outside blitz. There's the fake. Fires over to number 22, and he misses him. The intended receiver was Cam Ladd, and that's going to bring up a 4th down. The 2nd stop for the Lexington Minutemen today.
It seems like either team's quarterback really doesn't have any time to plant and throw the ball. It's been tough go for these quarterbacks here tonight. I don't know what's going on with the offensive line, but.
And it's very interesting to see for Lexington, as you were speaking about it pretty much, how they had such a highly touted offensive unit, averaging 42 points per game, and now it seems like their strength has shifted to the defensive side of the football.
Yeah, let's just see if they can put some points on the board.
Man back to return this one for Lexington is number 18,
again
Justin
with that
Seary.
high snap, and it's
high snap, and that ball, as you said, it recovered by Lexington, as special teams continues to be an issue for the Patriots, as the Minutemen are going to take over with fantastic field position once again.
Yeah, Van Eman is all over the ball tonight. That kid is a beast. He's quick, and I think he's a big reason this defense is doing so well tonight.
And now getting another shot with fantastic field position thanks to their special teams is Bianchi, jogging onto the field for his 3rd time of the night. On his previous 2 drives, they have been both scoreless. Only 1 first down for the Minutemen tonight. They've been 1 of 3 on 3rd down. Here is Anthony Bianchi. Fakes it on the play action pass. Bianchi going to use his legs. Running it right sideline. First down, and he is in for the touchdown. The Minutemen strike first, 6-0 Lexington.
That was a great play. They love the quarterback option there. It seems like they're pretty confident in that system where they're running with the quarterback just runs the ball. So it doesn't seem like much is going to change from last year other than the players.
Oh, no, it looks like they're just a yard short. Sorry about that confusion. Got fooled by the crowd.
Be interesting to see what they do this close to the.
There's Bianchi, fakes the handoff. He's going to take it himself, and he's into the end zone. After the nice carry to pick up 20 yards, Bianchi is into the end zone on the 1-yard quarterback draw as the Minutemen take the early lead with 4:39 remaining.
Yeah, that was great. Quarterback draw right up the middle. Beautiful. Great
and
play.
It's going to be interesting to see if Lexington will add any other spice to their offense, as it seems like they've been pretty one-dimensional so far. Just running the ball with the quarterback is not going to clearly win you any more plays, as such a highly touted defensive unit like this Patriot team is going to try to sniff it out.
I think they're putting a lot of stock in this kid Bianchi, and probably go with the draws and the runs for a little while and see if they can.
Merseth to kick this one, and
blocked.
It is blocked.
Man.
Looks like he actually kicked it towards the lower regions of his offensive line. Just a bit of a shank on that kick, as the Minutemen come empty-handed on the point after attempt.
That's a tough go, but they got the first points on the board. It was a great drive.
Definitely a confidence booster for the Minutemen.
Absolutely confidence booster. And again, their defense just having no problem stopping everything that Patriots are trying to do.
And it will be interesting to see how the Patriots adjust in this ball game, because we saw earlier in the game, what was it? We saw Declan Smith, his availability to really air the ball deep. I'm interested if we're going to see more from him in this game, really showing his passing ability and not just these quarterback draws and wide receiver screens.
Yeah, it seems like they run a very similar offense to Lexington, but again, I think they just need to relax, take a little time, and try and set something up.
And jogging onto the field is the special teams unit from the Minutemen. While one side has been doing fantastic, over for Concord Carlisle, that has been their weakest unit, allowing 2 special teams errors. As number 28 for the Minutemen, Luke Butler, set to kick this one off. 2 men back deep in the 10-2 formation for Concord Carlisle. Butler last year not the kicker, but has to jump onto the special team squad. That one is a high lofter, and that is going to jump down into the end zone for a touchback. Caught him off guards, as no one thought the linebacker Butler could kick that far.
That's a nice kick. I think he was thinking about taking it out of the end zone there, but had a second thought.
Usually you want a little bit more hang time, but
I think so, yeah.
When you catch him off guard like that, there's no need for it.
Yeah, the Minutemen were down there pretty quick.
And this defensive unit already with 2 stops, led by Exao Z. I'm pretty sure that's how you pronounce the name. We saw him earlier in the game. 6'5", 300-pound nose tackle, and he's going to be very important in tonight's game.
He's a big boy. I think him and Van Eman are
man in motion. Handoff up the middle to the fullback, who's picking up the yards and churns it just across the 35-yard line, moving the chains for the first down of the night. That was Tim Hayes, the freshman fullback, on the carry.
Again, yeah, Van Eman there on the stop. He's just all over the field.
Dunklin Smith has 1 man in the backfield with him, Cam Ladd. Here's Smith, has a man in motion as Ladd. Hands it off up the middle to his fullback once again, picking up the yards and brought down from behind. Looks like he's going to be just short or near the first down. Tim Hayes on the carry, and that's going to bring up a 2nd and short. So as you're saying, Van Eman, despite being a safety, getting all over the field and making a tackle. Unfortunately, when your safeties are making the tackles, it shows that you can't stop them up front.
Right.
And they're already picking up a lot of yards.
Yeah, these linebackers got to step up a little bit and make the plays before it gets all the way out there.
Here's Dunklin Smith, and Lexington showing a loaded defensive front in the cover 2 formation. Here's the handoff up the middle as Tim Hayes is going to be stuffed, but it looks like he is going to get the first down.
Tackle there by number 50. That was a great play. Minutemen linebackers.
Number 50, DJ Jellin, making the tackle, the senior defensive lineman, 3rd year as the starter. Saw on Max Preps that he was leading the team in sacks a couple years ago. Now here's Dunklin Smith. Smith under center, has a man in motion. Gives it up the middle to Cam Ladd, and he is stuffed across the 50-yard line, picking up about 4 yards on the carry, and that's going to bring up a 3rd and 7.
Seems like the Patriots switched up their offense a little bit. They're no longer doing that shotgun draw option stuff, but just trying to hard hammer the run game and get some stuff going here. And I like that. I think that's how you should start off your offense is, try and pick up those 4 or 5 yard gains at a time and just get in the end zone.
And definitely if your run game continues to improve this early, could very much well affect the play action pass later down in the game. Here's Dunklin Smith, hands it up the middle to his man, the fullback. He dropped the football, and that ball is going to be recovered by the Minutemen, but flags are on the field. Looks like to be an excessive celebration against the Minutemen.
Yeah, you can't take your helmet off, right? You got to leave the cap on, I think is the call there. Number 50, excited about the strip.
A.J. Movasian, the senior linebacker, and that's going to cost the Minutemen a lot. And with just about 2 minutes remaining left in the first quarter, the Minutemen lead 6-0. So the Minutemen did recover the fumble, but the 15-yard excessive celebration penalty, will be applied afterwards, and that is going to take the Minutemen down to the 38-yard line.
Yeah, I sort of hate that call, Joe. I mean, the kid's excited. He stripped the ball. He got a great sack. Let him celebrate. I don't think there was anything excessive about that. He took his helmet off. He was excited. Why take it away from him?
I think it wasn't as much taking the helmet off, too, was sprinting across the middle of the field screaming, "I forced a fumble," and then taking the helmet off.
It's a great play. Let these guys play football.
Concord Carlisle showing the nickelback formation, 5 defensive backs on the field. Here's Bianchi in the shotgun, hands it off to his man up the middle, number 3, and he's going to be stuffed way behind the line of scrimmage despite the second effort. That was Tristan Quander. As for both sides of the football, the defensive lines have been dominating so far in this first quarter. Elijah Williams making the tackle, plugging up the running room. Here's Bianchi. He's going to run it to his left. Bianchi fires, intended for 15, and that pass is boggled out of bounds, intended for sophomore Mason Hatfield. Couldn't quite get the feet in and make the catch. And I spoke to kicker and wide receiver Duncan Hewitt before the game, and as we talked about, he tore his meniscus on the 3rd day of training camp. He was saying that him and Bianchi had a really great connection. It's too bad to see him on the sideline not active. Here's Bianchi with the 4 receiver set. One man in motion is Merceth. Fires. Bianchi going to throw it to his man Merceth. Escapes one man. Great run after the catch. Lowering the shoulder and picks up the first down. Late hit by number 1, Tyler Jamu. Nonetheless, Merceth picks up the first down on his 3rd completed reception of the game. And
that was beautiful. That was one of the cases, the shotgun works for you. You have all the wide receivers out in the field, and you get some extra time to make a play there. Great throw.
Here's Bianchi moving those legs, churning up the field, and Bianchi is still going, fighting for extra effort, and he is down just short of the 25-yard line, moving the chains yet again.
Seems like they're starting to find their rhythm here a little bit, pick up the pace, and move down the field.
And I think the key for this game is going to be, from what I've watched from Concord Carlisle, their defense isn't really accustomed to the no huddle, and Lexington is already trying to make that a big part of their offense. Extra tight end set for Lexington. Here's Bianchi, sees the pressure. He's going to run it up the middle, and he is tackled from behind. Great tackle made by number 50, DJ Jellin, as he stops the quarterback from escaping and picking up any extra yardage. Number 15, Mason Hatfield, the slot receiver, switches over Jack Marson for receiver set. Quander swaps over to his right. Here's Bianchi. He's going to run it himself again on the quarterback draw. Bianchi escaping, picks up the first down and more, and inching closer to the red zone.
Yeah, he looks a lot like the Sal Free look of last year, just running on every play and just grinding it out. He's quick and a great thrower, so I think they missed Sal Free look, but they got Anthony Bianchi.
And as Lexington continues to move the chains, more fans are showing up at this ball game. Here's the handoff to Quander up the middle. Has some blocks. Quander takes the late hit and is down across the 2-yard line just short of the red zone. And that's going to bring up a first and goal.
I love that call there. A little bit of an inside pitch.
Second and 1.
Second down and 1.
Just under 12 seconds remaining. Here's Bianchi trying to get one last play in before the first quarter concludes. Bianchi, he's going to take it himself up the middle, diving across the pylon and in for the touchdown. Bianchi's second running touchdown of the night, and the Minutemen take the lead as 12-0, as time expires in the first quarter. And we'll see you at the start of the second quarter. Evan Joe Viscioni alongside Rick. And we'll see you then.
Sorry, I know. It's okay. Just do it again right after.
And here's Bianchi on the 2-point conversion try. Fires into the end zone, and that pass is intercepted by the Patriots. 2 seconds left in the first quarter after that touchdown run by Anthony Bianchi. Here's number 28, Luke Butler, set to kick this one off. Anticipating that one is 2 men back deep. Number 21 is going to take it up the left sideline. Tackle made by Lexington. Football might have been lost at the end of it. And let's see the call from the referees. Questioning that call was the Minutemen. Referees trying to discuss this one. Who had possession of the ball? Let's wait for this call. And the ball was going to go to the Patriots. It looked like the returner's knee was already down at that time. As the first quarter comes to a close, I've been Joe Viscioni alongside Rick Dorrington, and we'll see you at the start of the second quarter.
All across America, the NFL and United Way are inspiring kids to get healthy and more active. Join us. Find ways to help kids in your neighborhood at liveunited.org/healthykids.
Welcome back to Harold Crumfield. I'm Joe Viscioni alongside Rick Dorrington as the Concord Carlisle Patriots take over on first down. Here's the carry from the quarterback. He's making an extra spin move and picks up the first down after being tackled by number 21, Matt Pusateri, the senior linebacker. And Declan Smith showing his mobility as a quarterback, picking up the first down.
First down for Concord. The ball is at their own.
And it seems like the Minutemen have been doing a great job defensively at stopping the run. And the only way the Patriots can try to move the chains is by on the quarterback draws. 3 technique is number 66. Ball faked up the middle. Great tackle made by number 76 on the running back. That was Patrick Critoraticorn. Pretty long last name from him. The 5'9", 250-pound defensive tackle from Lexington making the tackle, bringing up a 2nd and 8 for the Concord Carlisle Patriots. And Dunklin Smith trying to get his offensive unit going so far has only mustered 3 first downs in the first quarter. Here's Smith. Smith is going to run it himself up the middle. Has had a lot of success with that so far. And looks to be within 2 yards short of the first down, bringing up a 3rd and 1.
It's funny, these offenses look very similar, and he sort of looks a lot like Anthony Bianchi, just, with a lot of those draws and deciding whether or not he wants to take it up the field. And on this drive, it seems to be working for the Patriots.
And it's pretty interesting going back to the offense, Rick. We used to see Lexington as such a dynamic offensive team, really running the ball downfield and taking these deep shots. And now that they've kind of come back down to earth without Freelick, it's very interesting to see both teams at the same level of pace. Here's Smith. Smith has a man in motion, fakes it up the middle to his fullback, who picks up the first down on the carry. Tim Hayes moving the chains as the freshman has some juice. And we've seen a lot of action from him. That is his 6th carry of the ball game, already with at least 30 yards. Extra man coming in on the substitution is number 9, Christian Gamelli, the junior running back. And here's Lexington loading the line of scrimmage. Here's the handoff up the middle. Cameron Ladd on the carry, and he's going to be wrapped up across the 47-yard line. That's going to bring up a 2nd down and 7. Tackle made by Lexington, already showing their ability to stuff the run here in the ball game, as their secondary has done a nice job of assisting the linebackers and defensive linemen. Here's Declan Smith coming to the line of scrimmage, under center yet again, extra tight end set. Here's Smith. Smith feeling the pressure, ball is dropped, and that's going to be a miscue between Smith and his center, and that's going to bring up a 3rd and 7 for the Patriots. So Lexington getting pretty lucky there, as another miscue between this Concord Carlisle team has gotten them in a pretty rough patch.
Yeah, Concord Carlisle have had a couple mistakes tonight, and a lot of turnovers, a lot of missed opportunities here. It's not that they're not good on offense; they're just making some mistakes, especially in special teams, and they got to just get their head in the game a little bit.
And it seems like most of their mistakes haven't even been football plays; it's been mostly miscues. So We'll see if they can adjust to that. Here's the handoff. Smith is going to be stuffed at the line of scrimmage. Great tackle made by number 66 for Lexington, Zhao Zi, the defensive tackle senior, filling in for Tenzin Parashore, who left last season, and already the nose tackle making his imprint on the game.
Yeah, he's definitely been a difference maker tonight.
As he jogs off the field, as the Patriots are going to get set to punt this one off. Number 18, Justin Seary, set to receive this one. Low snap, nearly blocked, gets that ball off, might have been tipped, and that's going to fall down with a forward roll across the 31-yard line, as the Minutemen are going to take over and get their 5th possession of the half.
That's not a bad spot for the Minutemen. Let's see what they can do here on offense.
And so far in this ball game, we've only really seen one pass downfield, Rick, as we saw Bianchi miss his wide open man, Mason Hatfield. If you were George Peterson, the Lexington head coach, what would your offensive game plan be if you're up 12-0 and you already got the defense on their heels?
I'd still start with the run game. I'd give it to Tristan Quander and just see what he can do. I'd quit the shotgun offense a little bit and just try and hammer the run. Give these guys a little bit of a break.
Here's Quander on the carry, as you predicted. Quander trying to make a man miss out across the sideline, and he is going to be wrapped up right across the line of scrimmage, taken down by a plethora of Patriot defenders. And that's going to bring up a 2nd and long for the Minutemen, as Quander could not get around the edge substitution on the field. Quanders going to be coming out of the game as number 40, Joe Tibbles, the senior running back up. Only 5'9", 165, has more of the stature of a wide receiver. Nonetheless, here's Bianchi airing it downfield. Jack Marson has the reception, and Marson wrapped up by the heels. Nonetheless, big play by the Minutemen, taking the shot down the field and into Patriot territory.
There is a flag down. Let's see. Looks like it's on Minutemen.
Let's see what the call is. Bianchi trying to see what it is. Looks like it's going to be against the offense. And that was an illegal man downfield penalty against the Minutemen. So after Marson making the great completion, that's going to be negated by one of the offensive linemen.
That's tough. The Minutemen have had a couple big plays that have just been taken back by some tough penalties here. I'm not sure who that was downfield that was illegal, but
unfortunate for the Minutemen, not getting lucky. That's going to be a 10-yard penalty and loss of the down. So 2nd and 15 for Bianchi. Bianchi with the 12-0 lead already, comfortable in a 2-possession game. Trying to get the call from his head coach, George Peterson, 4th year as the head coach. 4 receiver set, has number 40 in the backfield. With him is Joe Tibbles. Bianchi feeling the pressure, fires downfield again. Marson right where he was thrown to before. Light hit at the end of the play, no call, as the receiver was not defenseless. And for the second time of the night, Bianchi overshoots his man who is open down the field.
That's tough. Yeah, it was a pretty good throw. You know, got to be a little quicker to get out there fast. He would have been wide open, but a little overthrown. I think their momentum's a little shot after that penalty. And this is an offense that needs that momentum, that hurry-up offense, and, you know, sort of quick play calling.
Jack Marson already proving to be a fantastic deep threat. He's over there with Mason Hatfield. Bianchi, empty backfield set, facing the pressure, fires downfield to Surrath, and he is missed wide open by Bianchi for the second straight play of this drive, as Merceth was wide open.
Again, yeah, just a little bit overthrown by Bianchi. He's got the right idea. The receivers are breaking out, but just needs to put a little less mustard on it.
And this kid can really air it out, but just a couple yards ahead of his receiver. Really unfortunate for this Minutemen offenses. They've really shown the downfield ability to get open. Now here's Bianchi on special teams, set to punt this one away for the second time of the night. High kick, good hang time. Number 22, Cameron Ludd, calls for the, and that looks to be a penalty. Could be a penalty, as he called for the fair catch. Cameron Ludd, nonetheless. No flag on the field, and that's going to be placed at the 30-yard line. Sorry.
No, it's don't worry.
And that's going to be placed at the 31-yard line for the Patriots, already scoreless in this game with 4:57 remaining in the ball game, trying to get something going offensively. But so far, this Lexington defensive front has proven to be very threatening, especially up the middle. And it all starts with the defensive line, Rick. And it seems like Lexington has been dominating on that front tonight.
Yeah, absolutely.
Number 66, Zalci, the nose tackle, trying to get some penetration up the middle. Here's Dunklin Smith dropping back, bootleg to his right, fires over to number 41, his fullback, the freshman, and he's going to be wrapped up just short of the first down. That was Declan Smith. Sorry for the mispronunciation there. Last year I called Bianchi.
That's what I've been calling him. Is it Bianchi?
Bianchi. Honestly, I forget at this point, but I don't think his parents were too happy about that. Here's Declan Smith. Smith, loaded backfield. Under center, man offsides.
Looks like it's going to be offsides. That's got to be.
As it looks to be against the offense. False start, 5-yard penalty And that is going to prove to be a 2nd and long. Not too many penalties so far in this ball game, but the false start is definitely one of the easiest plays to avoid, as the Patriots get caught off guard there. Here's Declan Smith. Smith under center, facing a loaded Lexington defensive front, has Cameron Ludd in formation, hands it off up the middle to Hayes, and he's going to be wrapped up just short of the 40-yard line. And Hayes getting a lot of action despite being a freshman, having a big frame for a 6', 185. And something that I've seen so far, Rick, that I'm really surprised with, that the Patriots are not taking advantage of this size advantage that their receivers have. The tallest cornerback on this Lexington front is Jack Marston at 5'10", tallest wide receiver for the Patriots, 6'2". Here's the bootleg, fires over to his man, number 41, Hayes again. He picks up the first down, diving across the 45-yard line, moving the chains for the Patriots as Tim Hayes once again.
I think that's sort of the way they want to go. I mean, trying to run it up the middle in this formidable Lexington defensive line is pretty tough. So they're going to look to go to the outside a little bit, get the ball aired out there to some of these bigger receivers.
And I really want to see Anath Sitharam, very tough name to pronounce, 6'2" wide receiver, could definitely have his way with Jack Marston if Marston wasn't so competent in his leverage and in coverage. As a man in motion, fakes it on the play action bootleg. Here's Smith. Smith is going to roll, find his way, nearly leaps over a man and picks up about 1 or 2 yards on the carry before being tackled low by the Minutemen. I believe that was Justin Seary, the strong safety playing near the line of scrimmage, able to make the tackle on the very mobile quarterback as we have a timeout on the field. Concord.
Yeah, they look good. I think they just got to. The offense has to find their rhythm. It seems like the defense has found theirs, but the offense just has to get in a little bit of a rhythm and start putting some more points on the board. But so far, so good.
Seems like the sports writers were pretty confused by Lexington's showing last week against Brockton, 42-14 loss. Definitely unfortunate. Lexington picking up a very new game plan from this game, showing to be much more mobile and trying to take some shots downfield. 5-man rush here. Declan Smith, no time to throw, fires over to Cameron Ludd. Ludd making one-man miss, rounds the corner, picks up the first down, knocked out of bounds by number 12, Gabe Van Eman, who's had quite a first half. And that was Ladd on the reception, the junior running back, making his imprint early into the game. As the Patriots get closer to reaching the Minutemen end zone. Definitely two very patriotic teams facing off against each other. The Lexington Minutemen and the Concord Carlisle Patriots. Both teams very proud of their New England heritage. Here's Declan Smith, has Ludd in motion, fakes it on the play action pass, is going to run it. Here's Smith, who leaps across the 40-yard line, picks up about 5 yards on the quarterback draw.
Quarterback keeper, Gemelli on the carry, tackled by number 21. Carry. Timeout pocket. 5-yard gain, second down in.
And it looks like Concord Carlisle to take the timeout.
This is a big drive here for either team. You want that momentum going into the locker room. It would be great for the Minutemen to go in with a scoreless defense.
Hey Terry, you want to just skip this timeout? I think they have a different quarterback in.
Is that really?
Yeah.
It seems like they're switching. I think so.
New quarterback in the game is Christian Gemelli, trying to get a different change for this offense. Man in motion is number 21.
A false start.
It looks to be A dead ball foul against the offense. That's going to be their second of the quarter.
Again, these
penalty will be
Patriots
second down.
just cannibalizing themselves and really having a tough time and making some stupid mistakes.
And I know last week when I was calling the Burlington versus Bedford game, Burlington had a very early lead, and throughout the game they were up by almost 3 scores. But throughout the game, they had 6 holding penalties and 8 offsides.
Yeah, that'll catch up
And that
to you.
really allowed Bedford to come back into the game, so hopefully Lexington doesn't have the same fate in store for them. Here's the Patriots first to the line of scrimmage. 2 wide receivers set. Lexington lining up in press coverage. Man in the backfield is number 21. Handoff given to Ladd. And Ladd is going to be wrapped up at the line of scrimmage by who else? Number 66, Zhao Z, providing the stuff. And timeout is going to be on the field on the 3rd and long as the Minutemen need to get something going. Excuse me, as the Patriots need to get something going, have yet to score so far in this ball game. Last week, the Patriots won their first game of the season against Oliver Ames, 20-19. Their next game of the season will be at Worcester next Saturday.
And I think the story of this game is the Lexington Minuteman defensive line. Zhao Z is just killing it out there. It's making it really tough for this offense to run up the middle. They don't have many options, and they're not being able to capitalize on some of these big, fast receivers.
And another point to add to that defensive line is they've been so dominant that Lexington hasn't had to stuff the box with an extra defensive back and an extra linebacker, which opens them up to cover the pass much more, and that might be why we haven't seen this Concord Carlisle offense throw downfield as much.
Yeah, I think that's exactly right. That's why Concord Carlisle is probably going to keep up with these quarterback draws and keeps.
Here, facing a 3rd and 11. 6-man rush. Declan fires over to his right. Pass is incomplete. Intended for number 41, Tim Hayes, the freshman, as that pass falls incomplete, bringing up a 4th and 11. Excuse me, that was Christian Gamelli on the throw. Nice sneeze, Rick.
Thanks, Joe.
Really feeling the love. And here comes the special teams unit. Punter is on the field. Man back deep for Lexington is number 18, Justin Seary again. Bunt is a shank, very low.
I'm not sure if someone got a hand of that from the Minuteman or that was just a straight up and down punt, but that was pretty unique.
And not a great play. Looks like he was trying to go for the pooch punt, as they call it, to try to have a backward spin and get more on it. It was intended to fall within the 20-yard line, but just shanks it, as punting is not known to be at a very high level at the high school level.
Lexington's got 2 minutes on the board. If they get some of that offensive momentum that they've been known to get, they can put another 7 on the board here before they go in the locker room.
2:06 remaining with a fair amount of timeouts and still the 2-minute warning. Here's Bianchi, has Tristan Quander, who has done nothing so far, moves him in motion as a receiver. Here's Bianchi, fires on the wide receiver screen over to Marson, who drops the football and took a later hit by Cameron Load. That is Marson's second drop of the night on a wide receiver screen. Definitely one of the passes that you'd expect him to receive. George Patterson, the head coach in this ball game. Throughout the years, he's proven to be a very steady and competent head coach. Now the Burlington head coach used to be the defensive coordinator for Lexington football. Definitely has some good protégés there. And as we spoke, Peterson trying to call out this play. Here's Bianchi. He's going to take it on the quarterback draw, and he is thumped before scratching it over to Quander. And he's tackled behind the line of scrimmage, making it a 3rd and long. Not quite sure what the Minutemen were trying to do there, Rick.
I'm not sure. I think their offensive line is struggling a little bit. And it doesn't seem like they have too many big blockers either. Quanders seems to be sort of a small running back. They need a big fullback out there to make some of these big blocks.
There's Bianchi. 3 receiver set. Drops back. Bianchi throwing it. Fires, heaves it downfield. Marson trying to make the catch, but great PBU broken up by number 22, Cam Ladd.
Yeah, that's just a great play by Cam Ladd. There's not much you can do there. That's just stellar defense. It's a great ball, great route, but just good defense by Cam Ladd.
Marson's 6th target of the ball game, and has yet only come down with 1 reception on a screen earlier in the first quarter. And that's the 3rd time the ball game that Bianchi has missed him, as Marson throws his helmet in disgust after that play. That punt is caught by number 9, Christian Gamelli, the quarterback, who's going to stay on the field for the next drive. Still has a good amount of time, 1:20 remaining for the Patriots to try to get their offense going. And Concord Carlisle last season being 5-6, trying to get a good turnaround for this team. Lexington, as we mentioned last year, they were fantastic during the regular season, undefeated until they wound up in the playoffs against Everett and lost that ball game to a very highly touted defensive unit, including Lewis Sine, who is a Ohio State or Georgia commit, who now transferred over to Texas Tech Regional High School, so we won't have to deal with him in the future. Here's Gamelli. He fires over to Cameron Ladd, who picks up the first down across the 44-yard line as the Patriots move the chains with 1:12 remaining in the first half.
Patriots have had a little success with that play action. I think that's working well for them, especially with this big defensive line. They're creating a little more space and being able to pass it out.
Here's Gamelli, has Ladd in motion. Hands it up the middle to Hayes, his fullback. Hayes breaking a tackle, and he's going to be just short of the first down on the 9-yard carry as the Patriots are quick to hurry back to the line of scrimmage. And that's going to be a timeout on the field. As for the first time in this ball game, Concord Carlisle has really been showing that they've been able to move the football, and that's going to be a first down, rather, on the carry by Tim Hayes. Getting another set of downs. Here's Gamelli after subbing in Declan Smith, providing a good offensive bonus. Here's Gamelli, fires downfield. That pass is broken up. Number 12, Gabe Van Eman, making tackles near the line of scrimmage and breaking that pass up as well, providing a nice boost to this Lexington defense, especially on that play right there, Rick.
Yeah, it's a tough pass. It's probably one you shouldn't make. It's kind of just thrown the ball away there, but great job by the Lexington secondary.
And Gamelli should have been careful, because if that pass was about 2 more yards in, it would have been an interception. Here's Gamelli lined up under center yet again. No surprise. Drops back. Gamelli's going to take it himself. First down and more on the quarterback keeper play. Moving the chains once again as there's just under a minute in the second quarter, as the Patriots are trying to break across the plains and get their first touchdown of the ball game. Clock continues to roll. Here's Gamelli. Gamelli drops back, gives it up the middle to his fullback, Tim Hayes, who leapfrogs the man and is down, picking up 7 yards on the carry. 8 yards, excuse me. As Concord Carlisle takes their second timeout of the drive.
I'm not sure why they called a timeout there. It seemed like they had the momentum. The Lexington Minuteman D was tired. They should have just kept running it in. 24. I know it was 24 seconds left, but still, that hurry-up offense, they could have gotten the end zone right there.
I think it's more of the conservative and safe play to go with, Rick. I get with what you're going for there, but you really want to give your offense the most amount of chances. And with a 2nd and 1 with 24 seconds left, given your field position, if you take that timeout, you get
Joe,
the first down.
I'm a put all the line kind of guy. I go with what I see. Go with
put
my
all your
gut,
chips on the table.
I put all my chips. I go all in every single hand I have. I would have kept running. Watch here. The the defense is going to stop them, and they're gonna wish they took my advice.
All right, we should play poker sometime if you're just like that. And back with 24 seconds here at Harold Crum Field. Lexington up 12-0. And let's see if the timeout pays off for the Patriots, as Rick clearly stated that he would have gone forward and continued the momentum. Extra tight end set in for the Patriots. Under center is Gamelli. Gamelli takes a snap, fakes it on the play action pass, fooling nobody, takes a late hit, and that pass looks to be incomplete.
Yeah, it was knocked down by number 19.
Number 19, Aditya Sen, the junior defensive back, reaching in to break up the pass. Great play by him. And that's going to bring up a 3rd and 1 for the Patriots, stopping the clock.
Oh, not 19. I'm sorry. I think it was number 13.
Number 13, Ben Berman.
Ben Berman, yeah. Great play.
As the Patriots, showing no difference in their defensive formation, have 4 people in the backfield. Here's the handoff straight up to Tim Hayes. Picks up the first down and more inside the 10-yard line. And that's going to bring up a 1st and goal with 13 seconds remaining as the clock continues to tick.
Yeah, I'm not sure why the clock stopped there.
With 8 seconds remaining, and as Concord Carlisle calls another timeout, trying to get into the end zone for the first time tonight. And if you're Lexington, this is really 10 seconds rather. If you're Lexington, this is really when you want your defense to step up, make a nice goal line stand, or maybe possibly force a turnover, which would be huge for this defense.
That'd be huge. Yeah, you want to try and at least hold them to 3 here, but this Concord Carlisle offense seems to be getting their momentum down, and they're recognizing that running it right up the middle seems to be working.
Well, as Phil Simms once said on a Sunday Night Football broadcast, that what makes a great defense is stopping the other team and holding them to less than 20 points, but what makes a fantastic defense, a transformative one like the Legion of Boom in Seattle, is when you can force the takeaways and force the team to turn over the football in the end zone, and hopefully the Minutemen can do just the same, as this defense is definitely turning out to be Lexington's strength early in this ball game. But not on this drive. Showing some support is the Lexington fan section of their defense. Here's Gamelli, fires on the wide receiver fade. That pass is boggled and incomplete, intended for number 22, Cameron Ladd. And that was a great job in coverage by Lexington.
I think that's one of those plays where you just air it out and hope for the penalty, and that's exactly what they got.
As Bianchi is going to jog onto the field, looks like he's going to come in as a extra cornerback as Jack Marson is substituted out of the game. Marson, I get that play call as flag is on the field. Marson only being 5'8", and Bianchi being 6'2", could provide a boost in the end zone when height really does matter. 6 seconds remaining after that incompletion, as Concord Carlisle down 12-0, trying to get into the end zone with just 6 seconds remaining. 2 receiver set. Here's Gamelli. Gamelli drops back. He's going to roll to his right. Going to take it himself. Gets it away, and that pass is caught into the end zone. Great extension by Gamelli as the Concord Carlisle Patriots get on the scoreboard for the first time of the night.
That's a great call there. Yeah, I love that option play. He probably could have kept going and got in, but he saw the receiver wide open and just tossed it out. Great play.
As the extra point attempt is going to come onto the field as time did expire in the half. As it'll be interesting to see if Concord Carlisle decides to go for the 2-point conversion. And the kicking team comes onto the field led by number 3, No number 3 on the roster. Number 9, Christian Gamelli, the quarterback. Kick is up, plenty of leg, and that is straight through the uprights, making the score 12-7 as the first half comes to a close in favor of the Lexington Minutemen. And Rick, we've seen a lot that you must have liked in the first half. A couple of rough and shaky plays from this offense, but the defensive line has really been holding down the fort for the Minutemen.
Yeah, I think the story of the night is both defenses, Lexington and Concord Carlisle. So it'll be interesting to see what happens after the second half. They get some rest, and let's get ready to go.
Lexington's one strength, their offense now going over to their defense, definitely having a great game. Hopefully both teams can step up the play. Score 12-7 at the end of the first half. Ivan Jovicioni alongside Rick Dorrington. Thanks for tuning in to the first half coverage of LexMedia's broadcast of Lexington football. We'll see you at the start of the second half.
NFC, AFC, offensive linemen, defensive tackles, quarterbacks, and cornerbacks are all working with United Way for a million little reasons. The kids of our communities, to ensure their academic success all the way to graduation day. You see, it takes about 12 years to create a graduate, but it takes the same time to create a dropout. And the difference between a kid becoming one or the other could be a professional athlete, or it could be you. Studies showed the earlier we get to kids, the better their chances. So become a United Way volunteer reader, tutor, or mentor, and make a difference in the life of a child, for the life of that child.
Give.
Advocate.
Volunteer.
Live united. Join your favorite NFL players. Take the pledge. Go to unitedway.org.
All right. And welcome back to the start of second half action between the Lexington Minutemen and the Concord Carlisle Patriots. As Luke Butler is set to kick this one off. High lofting kick down to the 10-yard line. Set to return this one is number 1, and he is wrapped up in the backfield across the 22-yard line on the 12-yard carry. And going back to this first half, Rick, we saw I don't think that window can move.
Who keeps turning that back on? Oh, it's one thing.
And welcome back. After that first half, we saw Lexington, a very dominant defense, only allowed 7 points. That's definitely a great accomplishment for the team that allowed 32 points per game last season, as it seems like their defense, led by that stout defensive line unit, has been holding this team to nothing. Here's Gamelli, hands it up to his man, number 21 on the carry, who escapes it. Ball pops loose at the end of it, but looks like his knee was down, and that is not going to be recovered as the Patriots rush for 5 yards. So that was Luke Butler forcing the fumble as it's recovered by the Patriots. Still a 5-yard carry. And Christian Gamelli, the junior quarterback, came in the second quarter, has provided his team with the first touchdown of the game. Here's the handoff up the middle, over to his man, number 26, Max Hamill. Number 22, Kem Ladd on the carry, rather. And he's going to be dropped just short of the first down, bringing up a 3rd and 1 for the Patriots. And already into the third quarter, the Minutemen defensive unit giving up 9 yards very easily. And this Patriots, Rick, it seems like this Patriots offense has been trying to switch up their level of play, especially with just running the ball almost every snap. It seems like they're trying to fire it downfield more. Nonetheless, here's the carry. Curse at the commentator there. I say they're trying to fire it downfield, and Tim Mays gets the carry straight up the middle.
Yeah, they've been trying out some different things. I think what's working for them is the run game, and some of those options and play actions. They haven't really been airing it out too much down the field. I think they're a little unconfident in either the quarterback or some of their receivers. So right now they're sticking with the run game, and Lexington's been able to stop it at the front line for the most part.
As Tim Mays picks up the first down for this Patriots offensive unit as they're coming back onto the field. Here's Gamelli back in the shotgun, has number 23 man in motion as a tight end. Handoff is given, and there looks to be a flag on the field. Let's see, that is going to be a penalty against the Minutemen, I believe. So rather, instead of a penalty, it's going to be a timeout before the play by the Minutemen as they were trying to get their defense set for that first down. And last game for the Minutemen, they lost 42-14 against Brockton. It was their first loss in a regular season opener since the 2014 season, in which they lost to Newton South 22-21 away. So it definitely shows you how dominant Lexington has been for a time. And we spoke about it a lot before the game started, Rick, about the preseason losses, especially from the senior class. 19 seniors are lost, as we talked about, including running back Ben Quint, Jimmy Lane, Sal Freelick, and Max Stevens, the special linebacker. And it seems like their defense, despite the offense, has been doing pretty good despite those key losses.
Yeah, that's absolutely right. You know, they don't look like the same team, but I think overall they're doing pretty well. Their defense actually looks better to me this year, and their offense isn't too far behind. So I think they're going to keep up with that run game from Bianchi, and the defense just keep doing what they're doing.
Here's Gamelli, hands it off to number 22, Ladd. Ladd turning the corner, and he's going to pick up about 5 or 6 yards on the carry.
They're having a tough time containing the outside. I think Van Eaton's going to step back up, or Van Eamon's going to step back up and make a difference in this game like he was in the first quarter.
And it really shows you, as the Patriots have had an inability to run it up the middle, having to resort to rushing on the outside, as it's proven to be one of Lexington's only weakness on the defensive side of the football. Here's Lexington showing a defensive front in the nickel back formation, 5 defensive backs on the field. Man in motion is Dodd. Play action fake, fires intended for number 21, Eddie Jellin, who drops the pass over his left shoulder, and that's going to bring up.
That was a great route there. Jellin was wide open. You know, if he had kept running just a little bit faster, that ball was a little underthrown, that would have been a great first down and perhaps maybe even a touchdown. He was pretty out there, wide open.
And the Patriots facing a 3rd and 4 with 7:50 remaining, just a little bit into this third quarter action, down by just 5 points after scoring their first touchdown of the game with 6 seconds remaining in the second quarter. Here's the handoff straight up the middle to the fullback, who takes the extra hit and is down short of the first down across the 40-yard line, as Lexington's interior defensive line proves to be stout once again.
Yeah, I like Tim Hayes. He's been able to run that ball right up the middle. It seems like every time they give it to him, he's getting those 4 or 5 yards that they need. Interesting to see why they're not using a little bit more of him and they're just trying to get it right up the middle.
And you got to say, very impressive for a freshman fullback.
Oh, he's a freshman. Wow,
freshman.
Yeah. Seems like a big kid, and I'd try to get the ball in Tim Hayes' hands a little more.
Given his usage so far, definitely has a bright future in this Middlesex league. And now here's Gamelli trying to silence this crowd. Interior linebacker blitz. That handoff is taken. And looks like he is going to be right near the first down.
Yeah, I don't think he's got it. Let's see what kind of spot they give him here. But from up here, it doesn't look like it's going to be the first down.
And
apparently maybe it is.
Come to measure this one out on a generous spot. Looks to be a couple inches out. That's going to be... The referees are going to come out to measure this one, I believe. From what our angle looks to be, Rick, doesn't look like it's quite enough for the first down.
Looks a little short. Yeah, I don't know if we're just ahead of the ball and it's a crazy angle, but it definitely looks short, and it looks like a gracious spot, so we'll see.
Here comes the chain gang onto the field to try to measure this one out. A stop here for the Minutemen would prove to be very, big for this defense. I'll try to give you an update. And it looks to be just by a hair. The first down for the Patriots on the carry by Tim Hayes, moving the chains once again, as that is definitely very depleting for this Minutemen defense. And Rick, how big would it have been for the Minutemen to get a stop right there?
That would have been a great stop right there. You know, fourth down, you have great field position there. Let's see if this defense can get back into the game.
Lexington being unable to get any pressure on the quarterback. Fires over to number 22, Cameron Ladd. And he is down across the 43-yard line, picking up 2 yards on the reception. 3 yard rather, bringing up a 2nd and 7. Ladd proving to be a great number 2 receiver for Gemelli, as the junior quarterback has had a decent start to the third quarter.
He's had a good start. I'd like to see him try and air it out a little bit more. They're good on these screens and sort of these, 4 and 6 yard passes, but I'd like to see him go downfield a little bit and try and have confidence in some of these bigger receivers.
Yeah, and you're not going to beat this Lexington team without airing it out downfield if you're so one-dimensional with running the football. Here's number 21 up the middle, lowers the shoulder, and down across the 48-yard line. That was Eddie Jellin on the carry, the sophomore running back, only 160 pounds, but making it feel like he was much bigger.
I'm gelling. Are you gelling, Joe?
I do not think I'm in the same state of mind as you, Rick.
That's all right, Joe. Not many people are.
As coming up with a big third down conversion and 4 with just about 5 minutes and 30 seconds remaining here at Harold Crum Field at the campus of Lexington High School, as the Minutemen currently up 12-7. Stacked backfield, Ladd in motion, hands it off to Ladd on the jet sweep, and he is dropped just short of the first down across the 50-yard line into Minuteman territory, and that's going to bring up another 4th and short.
If I was the Patriots here, I'd be looking at my main man, Tim Hayes. I'd say get him the ball. You're about 4th and 1, 4th and inches. He's the exact type of player to just, gut this right up the field, and watch 41 on this play right here.
Now, Rick, what are the chances? We all know that this could be very likely going to Hayes, as they've done it time and time out again. What are the chances we see a play-action pass to try to catch the Minutemen off guard?
Yeah, that's an option. I don't like that call. I don't think this offense is confident enough to do that. I say jump it right up the middle. Tim Hayes, 41. Watch him.
Loading up the line of scrimmage is Lexington. Man in motion is number 21, Jellin. Here's the play action, and he is stuffed behind the line of scrimmage, led by number 5, Cameron Merceth.
See, they went with your option, Joe, and see what happens.
As it seemed like Gemelli held onto the ball too long, giving Merceth a chance to make the stop. Also making the tackle is number 21, Matt Pusateri, as the Minutemen take over at the 45-yard line. So short yardage field situation to try to get back into the end zone.
Inside it might be like the automatic focus. Inside the actual thingy. He's just gonna run out real quick.
And Lexington, after that great defensive stand on 4th down, proving to come back onto the field. Bianchi has number 12, Gabe Van Eman, the defensive standout, over to his left. Has Quander in the backfield with him as well. Takes the handoff, gives it over to number 15, Matt Hatfield, making some running room and out of and down across the 39-yard line. As Lexington has been using a crowded backfield so far, we've seen Tristan Quander, the lead back, not having his way so far in this ball game, so why not give it to Hatfield, picking up about 3 on the carry. And here's Bianchi on the quarterback keeper yet again up the middle, and he's going to be wrapped up across the 40-yard line and down at the 38, bringing up a 3rd down for the Minutemen offense. Number 28 coming into the game for substitution, Luke Butler, the running back, as they're going to get more of a power contribution. The Patriots lining up in a nickel formation, 5 defensive backs. Here's Bianchi running it up the middle, and he is tackled across the 35-yard line down to the 33. First down, moving the chains is the Patriots. Is the Minutemen rather, as Bianchi, the captain, picking up the first. As Quander jogs back onto the field, has Jack Marston in the slot along with number 15. Here's a handoff up the middle. Bianchi getting an extra push from his lineman late in that play. And is down across the 25. Good to have you back, Rick.
It's good to be back, Joe.
Seems like that was, seemed like a couple years.
Yeah. You can just feel the chemistry in this booth. Me and Joe have known each other for all of about 35 minutes, and we are just gelling. That's G-E-L-I-N.
Here's Bianchi facing the pressure from Jellin, rather. And here's Jack Marson on the screen. Marson going, leaping towards the end zone. And he looks to be short of the touchdown inside the 10-yard line. Great reception from Marson. His second of the ball game, first for positive yardage, as the Minutemen are getting close to striking for the third time of the night.
Yeah, that's a great look by Bianchi there. He didn't panic. He put it up. The thing was about 50 feet in the air, just a little dump pass, and it worked out for him. So way not to panic and to just keep your eye on the ball.
And first down, Bianchi fires on the wide receiver fade intended, and that pass is caught. Touchdown, Minutemen.
Nope, sorry, he dropped it.
And he dropped it.
Yeah.
Oh.
That's
intended for Cave Van Emmen, getting my hopes up. Great wide receiver screen.
That's a tough one.
Fade, rather. Can't really see it from that angle, but Van Emmen unable to hold on to that one.
He's been one of the defensive stars all night, so we'll give him a break on that one. But
fatigue definitely seems to come back in here, and it's definitely limiting his concentration. Here's Bianchi back in the shotgun, has an extra tight end in the game, pushes Quander out to his right. Handoff given Bianchi straight up the middle on the quarterback draw, lowering the shoulder, and he is tackled into the end zone as Anthony Bianchi is into the end zone for his third touchdown of the night. And this boy's feeling it.
Yeah, they've been really good in the red zone. It's really tough for them to stop that short run and those options from Bianchi. So really nice to see, and pretty consistent with what we've seen from the rest of the night.
And it seems that Peterson is going to go for 2 on this attempt.
Yeah, it'd be nice if they could get a conversion after the touchdown one of these times. So
yeah,
hopefully here they'll get the 2.
They failed 2 times prior on their conversion, as Bianchi's trying to lead them this time. Fans definitely feeling it, trying to get their team going. Here's Bianchi, fires on the fade over to Marson, and he's into the end zone. 2-point conversion, good, making the score 20-7 in favor of the home team at Harold Crum as the muskets go off for the Minutemen.
That's exactly what these guys needed. Was that Van Eden that caught that? Van Eden?
That was Jack Marson.
Oh, Jack Marson, nice. That was a great catch.
So Marson, after being missed on those 2 deep balls, as we saw in the second quarter, rebounds and gets the 2-point conversion, as I believe I heard Anthony Bianchi yelling the famous Kirk Cousins play, "You like that."
Yeah.
And this Lexington offense definitely fired up after putting an extra 8 points on the scoreboard. And the Minutemen in support. At the beginning of the game, not too many people were in the fan section, but now it's as lively as ever.
This is a quick quarter too, huh, Joe? We only got 2 minutes and 37 seconds left, so this game's cruising right along, and I think the Minutemen have found their pace.
And I think a lot of that comes down to, Rick, how both teams have really established the running game that really wastes the clock down in favor of the Minutemen, as it doesn't give the Concord Carlisle Patriots as much time to come back and get back into this ball game.
That's exactly
However,
right.
It is still just a 2-possession game, so there's plenty of time.
There's plenty of time, but we're going to look back to that Minuteman defensive line to stop them here and do what they can do.
Here's Butler, not known as a kicker, but with a great kick high and deep back to the 5-yard line. Returned by number 40. He's going to take it up the middle before being stuffed by this stout Lexington special teams unit, stopping him just shy of the 25-yard line. And looks like Van Emmen looks shaken up after that tackle. Not good to see from him, as he's grabbing his hamstring and limping off the field. And he has been a key contributor tonight. Would not be good to see him go down. In place of him is number 13, Ben Berman, the cornerback, who's going to switch over to free safety for this play, I believe.
I think 4. Who's going to get 4 out there? Ethan Z.
Ethan Z, rather, is going to be your strong safety. Lexington loading up this line of scrimmage, showing a blitz. Here comes the run up the left sideline, and he's going to be stuffed, taking a late hit. Ball looked to be loose for a second.
And Z getting right in there on that play. I love that. Love the effort.
As that was Ethan Z making the tackle. As the Minutemen come up with a great stop on first down, already proving to be stout against the run, especially when it comes to up the middle. Here's Gamelli, fakes it up to his man, Ladd gets wrapped up from the ankles and dropped across the 31-yard line. As the Minutemen snuff that one out right from the beginning.
Again, I'm loving this Minutemen D. The tackle there was Ben Berman and or Brent Burnham, and he's been great all night. Him and Van Eman are quite the team out there for the safeties, for the cornerbacks.
As Lexington's defense trying to get set, showing a dime blitz. Here comes the run up the middle, has a couple extra blockers, and he is dropped across the 35-yard line. I believe looks like
enough. No.
Going to be just near the first down yardage, I believe. He got it.
I think he got the first down. Or
seems like the referee's having a tough time marking this. As a substitution is on the field, number 54 comes out of the ball game. That's Jamie Murray, the senior defensive end. We haven't seen too much from him so far, but being in a 34 defensive system, he has to soak up extra blockers and allow his outside linebackers to get after the quarterback, and he's done a great job of doing that tonight, allowing his team to roam freely along the line of scrimmage. Turns out that while we were talking, the Concord Carlisle Patriots picked up the first down on that carry, as they're going to have the ball right across the 36-yard line. Facing a new set of downs, here is Gamelli in the extra tight end set. Ball is dropped and he falls on top of it. Another near fumble by this Concord Carlisle team, as it seems like their center is in disarray.
Yeah, their team is just full of mistakes, and Lexington is capitalizing on it.
That was number 50, DJ Jellin, also a defensive lineman, but this time the center fumbling the ball as the center. 275 pounds, the largest player on this Concord Carlisle offensive line, rather. Here's the carry given up the middle to number 2, Jordan Corbett, the fullback, as he picks up about 3 yards after the contact on the carry. Bachman making the tackle is number 13. Ben Berman came in to also help out on the tackle as the third quarter surprisingly comes to a close in a very fast fashion. Ivan Gioviscioni alongside Rick Dorrington, and we'll see you at the start of the fourth quarter.
ALS doesn't just kill you, it shuts you down, little by little, bit by bit.
It starts small. Maybe it's holding a pencil that gets difficult.
Or getting up from your chair. Then you find it hard to turn the pages of your book.
Because you can't move your fingers. Your mind keeps working, but your body doesn't respond.
You won't see it coming because no one knows where it comes from.
Soon you can't hug your mother or pick up your child.
You won't be able to tie your shoes.
You don't need to tie your shoes because now you can't walk.
You can't eat or shave.
Or laugh or sing.
First you can't catch your ball, then you can't catch your breath.
ALS doesn't just kill you.
It steals your life, a little bit at a time.
And it doesn't stop until there's nothing left.
Unless we stop it first.
Unless we stop it now.
I'm James Gleason, Let's put our heads together and find a cure for ALS.
Welcome back to LexMedia's coverage of this fourth quarter action as the Lexington Minutemen currently have a commanding 20-7 lead here at Harold Crum Field over the Concord Carlisle Patriots as that pass is completed near the sideline by Christian Gamelli, the junior quarterback, as he moves it inside to Minuteman territory, picking up another first down, picking up right where he left off in the first half. Trying to catch a mosquito there. And both teams coming back to the line of scrimmage. Lexington showing a blitz from both sides from their defensive backs. Here's the carry up the middle. Getting by one man and down across the 40-yard line and out of bounds. 9-yard carry picked up. And Justin Seary, the wide receiver and strong safety, making the tackle as the Patriots come just short of, and that's actually going to be a 1st and 10 for Concord Carlisle. And I'll tell you, Rick, it's pretty tough. You get these mascots confused very easily, being the Patriots and the Minutemen.
I know. I don't know who to root for.
Lexington and Concord, both two historical battle sites, fighting each other tonight. It should be Battle of the Colonies. And here's the Patriots on this side. Patriots take the snap. Handoff is given to their quarterback, Gamelli, and he's going to be wrapped up and stuffed by number 21, Matt Pusateri, making the nice form tackle.
This has been a tough drive for the Lexington D. I think they're going to wake up here a little bit and maybe try and force a turnover or, shake things up, stop them somehow.
And Rick, when I tried out for the football team and didn't really do too well, we'll leave it there.
Yeah. I saw you try to kill a mosquito in here that you didn't really get it, so that's probably why you're up here, not down there.
I remember some of the, not the point, I remember some of the football coaches saying that in the fourth quarter when it comes really late and you're really tired, it's all about who wants it more. And it's going to be interesting to see if Lexington really wants it. There's Cam Ladd on the carry, gets banged out of bounds after picking up the first down. Number 52, Mariano Curtis, the junior linebacker, making the tackle.
Yeah, no, I think you're exactly right. I think, like you said, it's a two-possession drive. Concord Carlisle, the Patriots are crushing it here, and Lexington isn't careful. They can let this game slip away.
Eric Fulgham, the Lexington defensive coordinator, pretty frustrated with his unit so far on this drive. Nonetheless, here's the handoff to Ladd, who is stuffed near the line of scrimmage. Fired up is Lexington. Number 55, Nathan Tadagiri on the tackle, bringing up the 2nd and long. So Lexington proving to be very special when it comes to stopping the Patriots on 1st and 2nd down, as it seems like they've recorded double-digit tackle for losses in this ballgame so far tonight. And Rick, as a native Lexington, as I assume that you would be.
I am actually not, but I might be able to speak to some Lexington things. What do you got for me,
How
Joe?
impressed are you with this Lexington team so far in this ball game? Despite losing their star quarterback last year, Sal Freelick.
For tonight's performance, I'll give them a B-. I think they can do a lot more on offense. I like to see some different plays called and some different formations, but that defense is keeping that high, is keeping that B for me. So I'm going to go B-.
Gamelli using his legs, leapfrogs number 50. I'm unable to get the words out of my mouth. Jumping over A.J. Movizian. And he's going to be short of the first down, bringing up a 3rd and what looks to be 4.
So I gave him a B-, Joe. What do you give him for a grade here?
I think I'm going to have to wait till the end of the game, Rick, but so far what I've seen so far is their offense has not been special, but with the weapons that they've had compared to last year, they've done better than what most people would expect them to do. Now here's Gamelli. Gamelli's going to take it up the middle. Spins around, and he's going to be dropped inside the 10-yard line.
Yeah, this has been a really tough drive for the Lexington D. I mean, I think they're a little tired out there. What do you think?
I also got to say, Lexington's defense compared to last year, they allowed 32 points per game. So far in this ball game, they've only allowed 7. Could be a little more after this drive. Is definitely impressed given the very tough schedule that they've had over the past couple seasons. So I'd rate their defense at least at an A- range. Here's the handoff. A lot of misdirection. Here's Cam Ladd on the carry. Ladd cuts back inside, and he's going to be down inside the 10-yard line, close to the 5. Ladd losing his helmet after the play. Lexington player looks shaken up at the end of it. Down on his knees, I believe, is number 50, A.J. Movizian, as he looks to have an injury in his leg as he tried to get up and with his own power it fell down to the field, and that's definitely a sight that you do not want to see.
Yeah, Movizian had that big strip in the first quarter. He's a great linebacker, so that's going to be a big loss for Lexington. Let's hope he gets back up pretty quick.
As the injury looks to be pretty serious, and that's the problem with football. It's such an exciting game to watch, but sometimes you can have these horrific injuries, as looks like Movizian might be suffering right now. Looks to be a problem with his legs, as I don't think he is having trouble getting up at this point as the trainers surround him. Just 7:19 remaining in the quarter.
Wow, and look at that moon tonight, folks.
Wow.
Have you ever seen anything so beautiful? You look at a moon like that, it really just makes you think of how small you are in this floating rock in space. Wow, what a shot.
Not sure how to follow that up, but I'll give it a try. As coming back into it, looks like still in an injury timeout, as Movizian is going to be able to get off the field safely. And it is a fantastic night here in Lexington. Chilly 60-degree weather here on cool February
It's a balmy
night.
60 degrees. Yeah, it's 60, but it's still got that humidity to it. Gets into your bones.
And coming into this game, as we talked about it, the Daily Times Chronicle predicted that the Minutemen would be losing this game by a total of 3 scores. So far, the Minutemen proving that one wrong. And I'm surprised that Terry didn't even bet on this game.
Me and Terry have a little side bet going. Terry is our wonderful director. Let's give it up for Terry Samaras. He's brings these games to you every week, and this year, even on Thanksgiving, he's not going to any family devotion he's had. He's just going to be right there suited up for the game. So give it up for Terry Samaras for constantly bringing you these games from LexMedia.
Not sure whether to clap or just feel sorry. And we also got to give credit to also this lovely camera crew in this game, providing you this great in-depth coverage. It's not just us on the mic, it's everything behind it.
We
All
got
the people in the
Julie
van.
Manugian, Ryan Voto, and Sam Clough. So thanks to these guys for bringing you this wonderful broadcast.
I was just kidding about this. Here in the empty backfield is Gamelli. Gamelli drops back. He's going to roll to his right on the quarterback draw. You guessed it. He dives, lowering the shoulder. And he's going to be short of the end zone, bringing up a 3rd down for the Patriots.
I think these Lexington coaches are a little worried. That's probably why they called the timeout. They really want to figure out this defense out, how they can stop them. And it starts with stopping that run game. I think you got to pressure the quarterback a little more, shake him up a little bit, send him in there, and really hit him.
I think it really comes down to, I agree with you, Rick, that you really got to load up the line of scrimmage. You can't allow Gamelli to keep using his legs. You got to make them throw it downfield or trust their running backs more. Here's the quarterback keeper play, as the referees signal it to be a touchdown for the Concord Carlisle Patriots. Their second one of the ball game, as the score is now within 7 points in favor of the Minutemen with 6:27 remaining. As the Patriots special teams unit jogs onto the field for the extra point attempt.
Well, we get our game here, folks. We got 6:27 left in the game. This is a one-possession game.
Set to kick this one off straight up the middle, and that one is good, making the score 20-14 in favor of the Minutemen after the extra point attempt being good by Christian Gamelli, putting his team on his back and punching it into the end zone, as Lexington really in need of a score at this point with just 6 minutes remaining in the ball game.
Absolutely, yeah, and you know, I hope it doesn't come back to bite them. That missed point after touchdown could really hurt them. This is a 6-point game, and they got to be careful here. You don't want to lose by 1 point.
And it definitely comes down to, Rick, clock management.
Absolutely.
What are you going to do with your time? Are you going to try to run the ball? But, most teams have made that mistake before. If you try to run the ball with this amount of time, it will almost certainly be seeing Concord Carlisle stuffing up this box.
That's right. If I'm Lexington here, though, I'm going as quick pace as I can. Try and get back on defense, score, get back on defense, and put that trust back in that you had in the first quarter.
I think the smart strategy also here would be first down run, second down run, third down pass. Try to take some time off the clock and then trust your quarterback on third down and actually take a shot downfield, try to end this game.
That's exactly right.
And here's Gamelli set to kick this one off. And Rick, how surprised would you be if you saw an onside kick here?
You know what? That'd be really surprising, but it's high school football, so sometimes you see some wacky things. And sometimes they work, so it'd be a great time for it. Let's see what happens.
Last week in Bedford versus Burlington, Cam Wheelock converted on 2 onside kicks to surprise Bedford. So let's see if Gamelli can do the same. That kick is a squib, rather, about to the 40-yard line, catching them off guards. The ball pops loose, and it is recovered by the Patriots.
You hate to use a word like jinx, Joe, but I'm not sure what just happened up here in the booth, but you called an onside kick, and now we got one. So I don't think you'll ever be back for a LexMedia broadcast of this. And thank you for your service.
Sorry, Coach Peterson. Don't yell at me. As just like that, the kickoff turns out to work very well, almost like an onside kick. With 6:27 remaining, the Patriots recover and have the ball at the 26-yard line, making it a one-possession game and great scoring position.
That's a tough go for this Lexington team, but we've seen some weird things on special teams this game, and I'm not surprised by that call at all.
Yeah, Lexington was getting lucky very much earlier, and finally the special teams for Concord Carlisle figured it out. Here's Gamelli on the carry, quarterback draw. He's going to be wrapped up from behind by number 18, Justin Seary, on the tackle, as he picks up a couple yards on the quarterback keeper play. Not the first time tonight we've seen him using his legs, as proving to be a very mobile quarterback and a dual threat. On the field now, we saw number 22, Cameron Ladd, proving to be a very valuable receiver for this Concord Carlisle team. And speaking about Ladd, how great has he been in this ball game as a runner and as a receiver?
He's been a huge difference maker for this Patriots offense, and looks like he's lined up all the way up to the right now, and he's probably going to be looking to take some passes too. So yeah, Ladd is absolutely
two receiver set. Here's the quarterback draw once again. No surprise there, taking a late hit. Tackle made by number 12, Gabe Van Eman, coming back onto the field. It's good to see Van Eman, after being shaken up in the third quarter, back on the field and already making a defensive stop.
Yeah, I think this Lexington defense has spent that, or they've been completely exposed by this Patriots offense, and they got to get their head back in the game here a little bit.
And their captain of the defense, Van Eman, making the stuff and trying to get their defense back on the same page with just about 5 minutes remaining in the fourth quarter. One-score game for the Lexington Minutemen if you're just tuning in. Here's the handoff. Number 22, Cameron Ladd, taking up the right sideline and getting dropped, picking up about 4 yards on the carry. And that's going to bring up a third down.
Hey, I'd like to see a little bit more of a pass rush here. I mean, we mentioned this before. The Patriots offense hasn't really been able to capitalize on the deep ball, so I wouldn't be worried about that threat at all. And I'd blitz everybody, run them in, and get that quarterback in the backfield.
I'll tell you, Sean, it's very, Rick.
Sean, okay.
Here's the carry up by Ladd. Ladd takes it around the
There it is.
leg, and he is dropped for a tackle for loss. Now, Rick, I'll tell you one more time, it is very weird to be calling a Patriots game and be rooting for the other team. Definitely a change of sides for as myself. I don't know about you, a diehard Pats fan for the last 17 years.
Absolutely, I love them.
And let's hope here of the blue and gold of the Lexington Minutemen can hold these Patriots to a stop here on a key 3rd and 7. As a man in motion, that's number 21. Handoff is given to his fullback straight up the middle. And that pass is thrown into the back of the end zone. Hold down, and the reception is made for a touchdown. What an incredible catch on the play action pass. That was caught by number 80.
There is a flag down, Joe.
Flag down on the field, but it is going to be declined. It was on Lexington, and the Patriots get into the end zone, evening up the score at 20 apiece.
Not much you can do there. It looked like almost a broken play. 50 had him in the backfield, and then that was just a beautiful thrown ball, and not much you can do there.
So that was a great touchdown reception and a very fooling play. Here's Gamelli to try to make it a 1-point lead. The first lead of the Patriots tonight, and the ball is snapped loose. Here's Gamelli. He's going to throw it into the end zone, and that pass is incomplete. Great stuff by the Minutemen. On another special team error as the game is tied with 3:45 remaining in the fourth quarter.
Joe, if you're one of these coaches, what do you say about the special teams? How do you coach these guys a little bit better? We've seen a ton of flubs sent out on special teams, and it's not something you think about too much. But how do you get them back on track, and how do you get them going in the future to be better?
Well, I assume Peterson and both coaches are telling themselves, just take it back to the basics. This is just like any of our other games. We practice all throughout August and all throughout the season. We just got to take it back to the basics, calm ourselves down, and we can get back into the game, because special teams should be one of the easiest sides of the ball to cover. And it seems like so far for this Concord Carlisle Patriots, they've been making a mess of it today, and especially to Lexington's benefit. If I'm Peterson, I am thrilled. Your defensive unit not having too good of a day on these last couple drives, especially in the fourth quarter, getting pretty lucky there as the extra point was missed.
Yeah, absolutely. Some of these mistakes have been helping Lexington.
3:45 remaining as Lexington set to receive this one. Now here's the one thing we're worried about, Rick. We see 5 men lined up short here, and it seems like I would not be surprised if you only have 5 men playing this close to the ball. Onside kick again?
It's a tough call. If I'm the Patriots here, I say just kick it deep. I mean, their offense hasn't been good the last couple drives. It seems like they're a little tired. Kick it deep and trust your defense.
I think if I am the Patriots in this situation, you only have 5 men lined up for Lexington. They think you're going to kick it off deep. Let's see if Gamelli is going to test his luck. Here's Gamelli taking the deep drop. Another squib kick. Not an onside quite, but down to the 35-yard line. Big hit. And he is dropped across the 32-yard line. And the Minutemen take over with 3:42 remaining and a brand new set of downs for this offense. Tie game at Harold Crum Field as the Minutemen try to take the lead.
Now, what do you do here, Joe? Do you go right for it, try and run it right in, get right in the end zone, or do you try to shave a little bit off the clock? We got 3:42 to go, so that's more than enough time for a couple of possessions here. But what do you do if you're George Peterson?
Well, I'm a big believer. If I'm Peterson at this point in the game, I'm just going to take a shot downfield. I'm not too conservative as before. I'm more with you, Rick, putting all your aces on the table and trying to take a shot downfield.
Glad to see that I rubbed off on you, Joe.
Here's Bianchi on the quarterback keeper play. Looks like Peterson doesn't share the same outlook as Bianchi carry it on the 1 yard quarterback keeper run, letting the clock drizzle down to about 3:24 remaining. Here's Bianchi. Has Hatfield in the backfield. Bianchi on the quarterback keeper. Tries to fire it, but slips down at the 42-yard line. Might have tweaked his knee at the end of that one. Tried to fire it to his right. Over intended for Mizé Merceth, but that pass was avoided. And a substitution into the game. Mason Hatfield coming out of the ball game. The sophomore wide receiver making his impact, going over into the slot. And here's Bianchi lowering the shoulder, and he's going to be stuffed and not getting the first down. And he is just short of the first on the 3rd and short yardage.
Well, what do you do here? 3rd and short, do you go for it? Or?
Well, I believe you got to go for it. It's actually a very interesting position, Rick. What's your opinion on it?
I say go for it. You've been pretty good with Bianchi right up the middle, or a little bit of a play action here and or a draw, and just run it with Bianchi right up the middle.
As it stands right now, 4 receivers set for Lexington.
I think they lost a little bit of that trust they had earlier in the first half with their
official
defense.
Timeout as they're going to come out and measure this ball if it was in fact a first down or not. And as they come to measure,
that's a first down, Joe.
That's a first down for the Minutemen. A very important decision as they move the chains and pick up a fresh set of downs in what could prove to be a very beneficial play for the Minutemen.
I think you
And
slow it down here.
Changing.
Yeah, you slow it down here. Try to get to that 2-minute warning. Really use the clock and put some on the board and just hope your defense can handle one last drive.
Clock ticking with 2:26 remaining and going. Here's the high snap. Bianchi flips it over to his man Hewitt. Hewitt in the backfield trying to escape around. Punches out to the right side and is down across the 42-yard line. Flag on the field thrown. Let's see who it is on. I believe it's on the defense. And the flag is on the offense. Illegal block in the back against Lexington. That's going to be a costly 10-yard penalty. And with 2:13 remaining, Rick, that is something you just can't have.
Not something you want to make there. It was a loss of 5 is better than a loss of 10, and just let your receiver lose a little bit of the yards there instead of making that penalty. You hate to see that, but let's see what they're made of.
And Lexington hit with the penalty. Going to be 1st and 20 with 2:13 remaining. Less than 20 seconds till that 2-minute warning. Showing the blitz here is Concord Carlisle. Flag on the field. Free play for Bianchi. Fires downfield. Merceth, the intended receiver, off his fingertips. Incomplete, out of bounds, but still a flag on the field. Let's see what the call is. Looked like it was going to be against the defense.
Lexington has to figure out a way to make these deep balls work. I mean, they're just about there, but almost only counts in the horseshoes and hand grenades. You never heard that?
Concord Carlisle hit with the penalty. 5-yard penalty on the false start, repeat, first down. So now back to a 1st and 15 for the Minutemen with just 2 minutes remaining in the second half. And I am not quite sure on the rules for overtime, so let's see if Bianchi can get into the end zone. Man in motion is number 18. Justin Seary, handoff is given up the middle to Martlett. He breaks the tackle down up the field and across the 46-yard line before being wrapped up.
I like that call, though. When you're 1st and 20 and, it seems like a lot to go, just get back to basic football. You don't have to make these big plays. Just run it right up the middle and, get some of those short runs going.
And what the game has been going on has been over 2 hours. Flippy snap. That pass is dropped by Merceth wide open and quite cannot hang on to that one. Very unfortunate as it's his second drop of the game, and that seems to be one of the main issues for this Lexington offense, as it seems like most of the receivers, their hands have been covered by Vaseline.
Yeah, they're not capitalizing on these big plays and these passes. So
it seemed like Concord Carlisle switched to a more zone defense at that time, as Merceth tried to take advantage of it but couldn't haul in the pass. Taking the snap is Bianchi, has an extra blocker in his running back. He's going to run it himself. Bianchi lowering the shoulder, gets a great block, out of bounds across the 35.
That is a great play by Bianchi. He read that perfectly. He saw that he had the option there, but he took the run, saw the wide open field. The players were a little too far back on the Patriots, and Bianchi capitalized. That's beautiful.
Rick, did you see that massive block by number 75, Case Cronin, level the defender, allowing Bianchi to escape the pocket?
I missed that one, but I wish I saw it.
There's a 4-receiver set. Lexington, here's Bianchi. He's going to carry it himself. Rounding the left corner, Bianchi picking up the first down and more. Bianchi into the open field and down across the 25, just short of the 20-yard line. And Lexington with just under 2 minutes remaining, getting closer and closer to the end zone.
This is exactly what I want to see from a young quarterback. He recognizes he's going to take the team in his hands, and he's just going for it. So
the senior quarterback with just 1:13 remaining, as this drive could be game-changing and game-winning, as we have a timeout called on the field.
This is where you separate the men from the boys, Joe, and it looks like Bianchi's just going to take this team under his wing and try to get in that end zone on his own. I love that.
1:06 remaining, and this would truly be a special ball game if Lexington could come back to win this one, as they had the lead earlier. Allowed 2 straight drives by Concord Carlisle as they tied up the game, and the Minutemen trying to get back into this one.
I think the Minutemen are in perfect position here. You run a couple run plays, try and run the clock out a little bit, and then on 3rd down or hammer it in the end zone.
So ball on the 18-yard line for Lexington, trying to get this one going and pick up their first win of the season. Last season, the Minutemen were 10-1 if you include the playoffs, and a Thanksgiving rout over the Burlington Red Devils, trying to pick up where they left off. Lexington picking up some chants from their crowd as Bianchi comes onto the field, has 2 receivers to the left, 1 more in motion. Bianchi's going to run it himself to the wide open right side, takes a low hit and is dropped inside the 15-yard line as the clock continues to tick under a minute.
Yeah, that's exactly how you play this, and you try to get in the end zone, and if you can't, you have confidence in your kicker to put 3 up on the board and see what your defense is made of.
Bianchi taking his sweet, sweet time with just about 40 seconds remaining as we get a shot of that scoreboard. Here's Bianchi, drops back, 35 seconds, surveys the field, and he's going to be dropped. What a great sack by this Concord Carlisle defense, getting the pressure up the middle and dropping Bianchi around the 20-yard line. That was number 50, I believe. DJ Jellin picking up his first sack, and that was the first sack of the ball game from both teams.
I think too, Bianchi's trying to keep it in the middle of the field here, just in case they do have to go with that field goal. But ultimately, they'd like to get in the end zone. How many timeouts does the Patriots have? I'm surprised they didn't just call one. Are there no timeouts? Oh.
And Rick, how confident are you in this Minutemen team in their kicking unit if they have to go down and kick a field goal?
You know what? I'm a little nervous.
The last time we saw Merceth come on the field to kick that field goal, he kicked the ball pretty much into his own offensive lineman's butt. So
yeah, you got to be thinking that, and that's on his mind, right? He's thinking, ton of pressure here. It's a tied game. You could win it with a field goal.
Although I wouldn't be surprised if we saw Butler come on in the field with those very strong kickoffs.
Hey, whoever it is, you hope that they're not in their own head and they can just get this short field goal done. If
nonetheless, 3rd and long, 29 seconds remaining here for Anthony Bianchi trying to prove himself as a legend here at Harold Crum Field. If he could score this touchdown, facing the pressure, fires over on the screen to his man Hatfield. Hatfield making a man miss, and he's dropped inside the 5-yard line, downed at the 3 as the clock continues to tick down inside 20 seconds.
That's great for Hatfield. He's had a couple of drops tonight, but that was a beautiful play. That's exactly what you want to see from the young receiver.
It looks like we have a timeout on the field. Great play there by Hatfield. Mason Hatfield, the sophomore. Great yards after the catch. 18 seconds remaining, and Lexington is just that much closer to getting into the end zone.
Hatfield's had a couple of big plays tonight, and that one is no surprise. So great job by Hatfield, and let's see if they can get in the end zone here. I think Bianchi's they're gonna take their time a little bit and just probably give it to Bianchi up the middle or to the outside all 3 times. I don't think they're gonna air it out here. They're just gonna trust their quarterback to get in.
And Lexington, fueled by their defense, now with their offense, a chance to win this game. And I agree with you, Rick. Why not give it to the man that got you here, Anthony Bianchi? Last year was a second-team All-Star by the Boston Herald in the Middlesex League area. This year picking up right where he left off, but at a different position as a dual-threat quarterback. Here's Bianchi onto the field, has Tristan Quander in the backfield for the first time in what seems like since the 3rd quarter. Here's Bianchi. Bianchi has a 4-receiver set, both on the outer bounds, and this is going to be a run. 20 seconds remaining.
This is going to be wow, what a confident call, Joe. Oh, fumble.
Here's Bianchi. He's going to carry it himself. Bianchi going towards the end zone, diving, touchdown, Lexington. Bianchi does it himself. 15 seconds left, and he is in. What did I say? Bianchi leading the Minutemen. 6-point lead. Just like that, they're back on top.
I think that's Bianchi's 3rd touchdown, right? All pretty similar plays in the red zone. 4th touchdown. Wow. So he's pretty much their whole team tonight. All in the red zone, those running plays from this former wide receiver.
The Minutemen have accounted for, that was their 6th touchdown of the season. All 6 have been rushing touchdowns by Bianchi, really proving how great of a runner he is. Here's Bianchi, drops back on the 2-point conversion. Running to his right. Bianchi's going to run it himself, and he is going to be stopped short of the 2-point conversion. Nonetheless, 6-point lead with 15 seconds remaining. Rick, I'm not too sure about that play call.
Yeah, they must really have no confidence in their kicker because there's 15 seconds left on the clock. The defense hasn't been doing good this quarter, and that's plenty of time for these Patriots to march down and score a touchdown and get the point after.
We've seen the Patriots especially being able to move the football well, but they also have a very competent kicker from the extra points. You leave them open for that. And George Peterson's call could turn out to be costly later in this ball game. However, 15 seconds left. Lexington is probably going to squib this kick and try to bring the time down to around 10 seconds left. Rick, if you're Peterson in the huddle right now, what are you telling your kids on defense to get them ready for this next ensuing drive?
I'm telling them to just don't give up, hit hard, play fast, and go in there and get that quarterback. You gotta rush these guys a little bit and put a little pressure on them. You got the time, so that they're not going to move it down the field too well, but just pressure. That's what I'd say if I was George Peterson.
And I wouldn't be surprised if Lexington were actually going to play in a prevent system, meaning 3 defensive linemen and 8 people dropping into coverage to prevent, coined as the term, any players from getting any extra yardage. As the Lexington defensive backs coach comes down pretty confident in his team. Usually don't see them leave the hideout that early. 6-point lead for the Minutemen with 15 seconds remaining. Here is Luke Butler, set to kick this one off. Butler squibs it down the field. Great kick into the arms of number 21, who's going to carry this one up the field. Good return down to the 30-yard line exactly with 10 seconds remaining. As we have an injured player on the field, looks to be number 12 for the Minutemen, Gabe Van Eman. That is not a good sight to see.
That's not, no. I mean, especially where you need big defensive players there. He's been a difference maker tonight, and they're going to need him on this last drive.
Limping off the field is Van Eman, getting help from Tristan Quander. and number 52, Marino Curtas. And Lexington could really use his presence here, so that will give the Patriots a leg up. With just 10 seconds remaining, you could expect a couple of Hail Mary plays, maybe a screen to start this one out, pick up some extra yardage, and get your quarterback in the range to throw a deep ball down the field.
Absolutely. I would not count this Patriots offense out.
Lexington playing in a dime formation with 6 defensive backs on the field, 3 of which being deep safeties. Jack Marsh in the corner, who's had a great game so far, back in the game as well. Stepping up is Camelli. Camelli's going to run it himself. Camelli trying to get out of bounds, and he's wrapped up inbounds across, picking up the first down, and down with 2 seconds remaining in the game. So one last play. Let's see if Camelli can air this one out to the end zone. 2 seconds left, Rick. It's all or nothing at this point.
Hey, you got to air it out here and just see what happens. I don't know how good his arm is, but you got to just hope.
I'm not sure if I know too many high school quarterbacks that could air a ball out 60 yards downfield.
Well, maybe a Nerf ball.
And lining up in the prevent formation, we have 6 defensive backs on the field now. 1 middle linebacker in the middle of the field. Luke Butler is going to spy the quarterback to make sure he doesn't escape the pocket. Here's Lexington showing the blitz. Pressure up the middle, and he is dropped for the sack that ends the game. That is number 5, Missy Merseth with the sack. Ball game is over. Lexington in this thriller as the Minutemen escape with a 26-20 lead. And a touchdown by Bianchi and Merseth closing this one out. And as we talked about it, Rick, defense wins games, and Lexington's defense really proved to shine through at the end of this one.
I think that's exactly right. Lexington was just able to make a few less mistakes and capitalize on some of those Patriots mistakes. So, Joe, it's been great calling this game with you, and I hope to see you next week.
Great doing this game with you, Rick, and thanks for tuning into this Lexington Minuteman coverage as they pick up their first win of the season. Lexington's next game will be on the 21st at Reading Memorial High School. We'll have coverage for you then. I've been Joe Viscioni alongside Rick Dorrington here at Harold Crum Field. Thanks to everyone for tuning into this game, and thanks for watching LexMedia coverage of sports. I'm Joe Viscioni. We'll see you next time.